It would be easy to call the Butcher's Table a high-end steakhouse, and it certainly is. But this South Lake Union restaurant also aims to defy expectations.
You know, we try and think of ourselves as a really great restaurant that specializes in beef. We feature high quality beef, you know, a seasonal rotating assortment of sides. I love cream spinach, but we don't do that here. We want to offer things that are a little fresher, a little bit lighter. You know, we want people to leave here feeling light.
To that end, executive chef Morgan Mueller and his team have curated a robust, seafood-focused raw bar and an array of dishes showcasing local produce, all designed to complement the restaurant's array of steaks.
Our situation is super unique. You know, we work exclusively with Mishima Reserve. It's a domestic Wagyu program. So this is a crossbreed between Black Angus and Wagyu, which I think is kind of the best of the both worlds. It's got that beefy quality, but it has that high intermuscular fat distribution. It is some of the best stuff I've ever had.
Morgan tells me this beef is bred to be rich and tender, which allows the Butcher's Table to trim its steaks tightly, removing excess fat without sacrificing flavor. And these same cuts are also available at the restaurant's on-site butcher shop.
One, you know, we get to offer our steaks for people to take home and grill. And then two, it's a great showpiece for the restaurant. You know, people love to come over to the case and kind of do a little window shopping before they order.
Of course, the Butcher's Table is a wonderful spot to celebrate a special occasion or enjoy a meal with family or friends. But what are the secrets to preparing a restaurant-quality steak at home? Morgan has given me a crash course in Grilling 101 using a Mishima Reserve Ultra Manhattan Cut, New York.
Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is let the steak temper a little bit, kind of come to room temperature for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to want to season it.
Okay, so how should I season this up?
So we're going to want to season it up a little high, like maybe 10 inches away from the steak, to get a better distribution of the seasoning so it's not all clumped in one spot.
Right.
You know, it may seem like a lot of salt at times, but you want that salt to carry that seasoning all the way through the steak.
We're seasoning this steak with salt, pepper, and TBT, the Butcher's Table's custom rub. And because this is a square cut, we're making sure all 6 sides get some love.
So chef, we're seasoned up. This is ready to go on the grill, right?
Absolutely. So when it comes to cooking steaks, I like to think of it like driving a car.
Okay.
You want to, you know, the light turns green, you want to hit the gas and go. You don't want to be sitting there on your phone goofing off. You gotta get going. So we're gonna put this on the hottest part of the grill and let that start getting that nice char on it.
Whether using a wood-fired grill like this or propane or natural gas, Morgan recommends creating hot, medium, and cool temperature zones, and not being afraid to move the steak around to help avoid uneven cooking.
Is there a point where you know it's ready to go, whether it's ready to flip?
For me, I just, it's more of a timer in my head.
Sure.
You know, I kind of think of like that every 2.5 to 3 minutes, I want to be moving it.
So how do you know if your steak is done? Morgan says the most accurate method is to simply use a meat thermometer.
So I'd like to just imagine where the center of the steak is, kind of visualize that. And so we can see we're about 68 degrees, 65, we're a little ways away still.
Yeah. So in this instance, right, we're a little ways away, we've got a nice chart. Would we move it maybe down the grill a little bit?
Absolutely. So now that we've got that nice color on it, we want to continue cooking it, but we don't necessarily want to create more crust.
Right.
We'll start to move it down to these cooler zones.
Once you get close to your desired internal temperature and remove the steak from the grill, another critical step, resting it.
Kind of as a general rule of thumb, for however long you cook it, you want to rest it for half that amount of time.
Really?
So if it took us 15 minutes to cook it, we want to rest it for 7 minutes.
And this will really continue to cook as it rests as well.
Yeah, you know, a steak like this, you know, because it's a little thicker, you know, we're going to pull it off maybe 10 degrees lower than we wanted it. So if we wanted 120 degrees, we're going to pull it off at 110. And it'll cruise right on up into that 120.
My steak looks pretty good, but now it's time for the moment of truth, the taste test.
Cheers, chef.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Really, what makes all the difference is that crust. Look, the steak itself is beautiful. It is really flavorful. You can taste the meat, but that crust with the salt and those seasonings just adds something to it that makes it really special.
Yeah, nicely done.
It was a success.
For Seattle Refined, I'm Brandon Bernstead.